Didn't call it 14.
Well, welcome to RSG, the greatest podcast that no one ever listens to. And this is our 13th episode. Lucky number 13, or unlucky, whichever, it doesn't matter to me.
Or 14.
Or 15. Could be 12. Who knows? We don't keep count. Anyway, we got some things to talk about. Not a whole lot today. It's more of a lighter show. There's not a whole lot going on. Game of Thrones decided to take Memorial Day off for some strange reason. Even though, as I said before, Memorial Day is probably the best holiday for Game of Thrones, considering everyone gets killed and you remember them. But we have some Watch Dogs to talk about, some gameplay to discuss.
You really went there.
I did. They're gonna hate me for life, but whatever. Now I lost my train of thought.
Hate you for life too, bro.
I know. They'll be like, "Man, F you." But
it's that Ryan guy on the podcast that no one ever listens to.
X-Men. We watched X-Men over the weekend.
We did indeed watch X-Men.
Yep.
And we will discuss this.
Yep. In all its mediocre glory.
Mediocre indeed. Anyway, we'll get started. As always, with me today is Connor.
What's up?
And Mr. Watson.
Ryan, I think you're really overselling this podcast every time we introduce it.
I know. Well,
really overselling it.
You gotta make people want to hear the rest of it. If I make it sound like it's really awesome, then they'll stick it out and be like,
maybe they'll watch 5 minutes of our video instead of 2.
Hey man, 5 minutes is 5 minutes. All right, what do you guys want to start with? You want to start with X-Men, or you want to start with Watch Dogs?
I'd like to start with Watch Dogs a little bit, because Roby had some concerns that he feels are validated. I'd like to hear these.
Okay, hacking stuff is pretty lame.
Okay.
Snap.
It's pretty lame. It really is. Like, your options are amazingly limited. And, maybe it's just because I and my roommate have poor hand-eye coordination, but it's a lot harder to do and be effective at. Like, lots of times it's hard to see the light that you're coming up on if it's red or green. Just switch it to be effective, you know what I mean? And the other traffic doesn't always obey the law either.
Oh, that's kind of true to life.
You know? So if the light suddenly turns green or whatever, or red, they're not going to necessarily go or stop or whatever else.
Mm. There's actually a lot of complaints, sort of in the same vein, in that, they're trying to build this hyper-realistic sort of like Chicago, right? This world.
Right.
And they just suck at it.
Yeah.
There was an interesting couple posts I saw on Reddit that went into detail about, like, one of the developers actually was posting stuff about this, how angry he was about everything, but mostly about how I think Ubisoft Montreal just kept screwing stuff up. Like, one of the main things he talked about was how they put the L train in Chicago on a 90-degree turns.
Yeah, because that's gonna happen.
Right. He's like, and he brought it to their attention, and they're like, back in October, and they said, "Oh, we don't have time to fix this." And then they pushed it back afterwards and still didn't fix it. So.
Wow.
And he said he'll do it. He says, "Listen, just let me do it. Let me fix it." And they didn't. So, amongst many other issues like that, there's a couple funny images I saw, one of which he was in this like abandoned parking lot area, and you look in the reflection in the window of the building he's standing beside, the main character, and it's like a busy city street, like downtown Chicago. But you actually turn around and it's just like an abandoned lot.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another complaint that I have is that whether you have pissed off gangbangers or the police or anyone else, it does not matter because they will not follow you into the water.
Wait, seriously?
You can just swim out into the water, and the gangbangers or the police are all like, "Oh, water bad. I don't want to get wet," and they will leave you alone.
Wow, it sounds like they really dropped the ball on this one.
Any search or anybody after you just by jumping into the water.
This is what kills me.
The police won't even shoot at you.
Yeah, they pushed this game back, and this is what we got. You called it, Roby. straight up, you said pushing it back does not guarantee a good game, and that's exactly what we got. Not a good game.
Mm.
Yeah, they will
That
not
game-
fall into the water. I think they spend too much time on their mini games.
You think so?
Because that being said, the Spider Tank game is fucking sweet.
Really?
Fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I would spend hours playing that shit.
Huh?
Because your spiders, like, you just run up inside of buildings and shit. You have like a giant rocket launcher and a machine gun. You just run around smashing cop cars and other stuff. It's fantastic. It's fun.
What's really sad is that I've read a lot of reviews and listened to a lot of reviews on the game, and these people, it makes me sad for two reasons. Number one, these people are giving the game a good review, and I feel like they are focusing entirely on the game mechanics, which are, in my opinion, I would say mediocre at best.
Yeah, you can't hack everything either. Like, there's some soda machines you can't hack, some you can't hack. Why?
Interesting.
You know, some
Maybe
forklifts you can hack, some you can't.
Right.
Why?
And see, the second reason why I'm sad about this is because they're giving this like 8 of 10 and 9 of 10 reviews, this is all like paid off. You know, this is all in bed with the developer type bullshit. And, you know, it's
Right.
really disappointing to see that.
Yeah.
Well, they can
Reminds
come
me-
to the RSG podcast to get an accurate review of this game.
That's right. We tell it like it is, and we're not afraid to step on toes.
Right.
Well, you know, you want my opinion on it. My true opinion is the game's not very good. It's mediocre at best. And the other, however, if you own an Xbox One or a PS4, it's your only freaking option. Go ahead
Yeah.
and try it.
Because you
Right.
don't have a whole lot of options.
My roommate spent $80,000 buying new outfits, all of which are just slightly different colored variations of the same outfit.
Nice.
I was
Yeah,
like, really? They
there's a
literally have
reason-
like 22 options of slightly different colors for the same outfit you always wear.
Yeah, there's a reason why
Are you kidding me?
they never showed him in any other costume, because
Right.
there aren't any.
Because there are no other costumes. It's just slightly, and I mean, not even like big differences. I mean, some are big differences, but sometimes it's like, now your little mask thing is brown instead of black. That was worth $2,000 of my dollars. Now,
So
granted,
that's some rock
money
band
is
changes.
pointless because you literally just run around and steal money from people's ATMs via their
Nice.
cell phones. That part's kind of amusing.
Well, the most amusing part that I found is just the funny little bits of information you can get from people.
Yes.
That one is hilarious. My favorite one, so far I've seen a screenshot of, was a lady who was illiterate, but her occupation was poet.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is kind of cool, actually.
I saw one that was chronic masturbator the other day.
Chronic masturbator. It's just that there's like I'm not sure where they put all the time and money into the game. Like, if you're gonna build a system, just do it right, I guess. I mean,
Well-
have less features. You know, get rid of the mini games, make an amazing game.
Or just get rid of Watchdog in general.
And you
and
can
make
add in
the
mini
truck-
games later.
make
for
the-
sweet- Sorry.
Sorry. Can I talk? Can I talk, please?
Not anymore, you can't. Until you asked. I was going to let you talk.
Oh,
but
that's
you
messed
asked
up.
no.
No, but the tank game. They should have just made the tank game.
Just
From what it sounds like, yeah, they should have just like made Watch Dogs a mini game in the tank game.
Probably should have. Well, the it's like they built this game and they're like, okay, well, we have a cool single player game. Let's push this back so we can put some replayability into it, and then they just drop the ball and everything else. It's kind of what I'm seeing, really. Instead of like just making a really great title, they try to just cram a bunch of stuff in, and then they lose development time on other things that really matter.
Right. Yeah, it was disappointing. Well, I'll take that back. I thought it was going to be crap, so it met my expectations.
Oh,
I will give it a 10 out of 10 for meeting my expectations that were very low.
It's 10 out of 10 for getting a 1 out of 10.
Right.
But I like that point you brought up, though, how you're saying it's getting all these 9s out of 10s and 8s out of 10s from these other like reporting places, and it does kind of make you wonder if they're more or less just like, oh, this was awesome because
Oh, they're definitely paid.
It's so sad.
It is.
Some self-respect.
It is.
Sad is people who read them, knowing that they're paid for.
No. That's not what's sad. What's sad is I should get paid, guys.
What's sad is we should get paid.
I'll tell you all day long. This game's amazing.
Right.
It's crap. Well, that's the short and long of it for Watch Dogs. It's disappointing. A lot of people are upset and unhappy with it, as they should be. And I hope to God Ubisoft does not takes a clue from this and does not release The Division until it is finished and is perfect.
Seriously. I mean, dude,
Guys.
so far the only game that's been kind of cool somewhat is, what is it, Titanfall? And, I mean, it's not a game I can spend hours playing, but I enjoyed playing it. It's one of those games that, I don't know, the whole next generation console for me doesn't have a whole lot going for it. I have no desire right now to pick one up.
But Ryan, the Xbox One can control your whole living room.
Right. Sweet hand moves and clapping and stuff like that.
Unless it can masturbate for me. No go. It's part of my living room.
It can monitor while you. Does that count?
Yeah, right. It can tell
like,
the NSA how long my
Watch
wiener
the
is.
you can watch the infrared version of yourself masturbating. Does that work for you?
It judges your heart rate by your strokes, let you know how many calories you burned. Anyway.
I wonder if you can freestyle exercise on like Xbox One Fit that way.
Oh.
You know, I don't care about infrared, but I might watch myself masturbate on the thermal.
Wow.
Right. Well, that's what I meant, not infrared, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Let's keep going, otherwise this is about to get bad real
It's
fast.
just going downhill.
All right. So we got through Watch Dogs, X-Men First Class, or not a First Class. Wow.
Days of
Days
Future Past.
Before we get into Days of Future Past, let's talk about how angry we are.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
It's been 4 days, no, 6 days since Game of Thrones was not on TV,
That's true.
and I'm still angry about it.
For no reason. There's no reason.
I'm
why.
angry for a valid reason. Oh, sorry, you're right. There's no reason why it wasn't on. Correct.
Most of those people from other countries, there's like maybe 3 Americans on that. So.
All I know.
Who wasn't gonna watch Game of Thrones? Like, look, okay,
Right.
so they're traveling for the holiday weekend. That's cool, so they can watch it with their brother or their mom or whoever they're staying with.
They're all out there cooking food and drinking beer anyway. Why not watch
Right.
the episode?
It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. God damn it! There's no reason for that to be off for a holiday
Well,
weekend.
I mean, let's be frank. 50% of the people who watch it steal it anyways, and that's not going away.
That's
correct.
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
they said it's the #1 like pirated show in America
yeah.
right now.
It's the #1 piloted show in America whenever it's on. So we're pirated.
Disclaimer, stealing's bad.
Yes.
Why are we
Stealing
going to
is
disclaimer
bad.
that?
You
Everybody
are.
here steals.
It's bad.
What are you even talking about? I don't steal a thing.
Dude, bro, I got my laptop back from you with BitTorrent on it. I didn't put BitTorrent on it.
Look,
But
man,
when it came back from Ryan's house, it had BitTorrent on
you
it.
probably had a couple movies on there too.
I'm
Look,
guessing somebody steals. I'm
Just a
guessing
bit.
it's you.
I don't steal. I borrow.
Okay. I don't believe that, but okay.
I
Somehow I
emailed them.
give back the digital
I-
stuff.
Right.
I sent them 500 emails, each containing just parts of the movie.
Right.
With
Geez.
thank you letters for each one.
Right. Thanks.
This was awesome. Love the scene.
No, it was-
borrow this movie.
It was pretty frustrating. A lot of people made my ARIA list.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The producers are already on my ARIA list, but
Oh my gosh, yes. I just want to see Oberyn versus the Mountain, dude. Like, I have been waiting all
next
season
Sunday.
for
No,
Why?
this Sunday.
This Sunday, yeah.
Bro, you should come to my house and we'll watch it.
Yeah, I am off Monday, so yeah, sure. All right.
Well, it's like we can, we have HBO Go, actually.
Ooh.
A valid HBO Go account, so we're not stealing Game of Thrones. How about that?
I think it'll be the first time I ever saw it when it was supposed to be watched.
Yeah.
Saying.
So we can watch it like 10 o'clock or whatever.
Oh, snap.
I'll be in Newark for part of the time, but I'll be back for Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because it's super important, bro. It's the episode that I want to see. This will decide if I continue to watch the TV show or not.
To be honest, the rest of this
Oh,
season.
don't
Nope.
Roby.
Nope.
That is such a lot of bullshit.
Not true.
Don't even.
Not true.
Don't act like you're not gonna watch it because if this isn't living up to your expectations, that is so crap.
Yeah, he straight called you out.
I won't. I'll quit watching.
That's like saying that you're gonna stop masturbating.
Again with the masturbation.
What?
It seems to be a common theme today.
Everybody does it. Like crack.
This is true. Everyone also does crack.
Oh.
But okay. Let's go on to something else that we did not steal, and that was X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yes.
I would have felt better about it if we had stolen it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, come on. Let's be honest here. It was much better than our last review.
Oh,
the
yeah.
last movie we reviewed, rather.
Also, I was expecting very low expectations for this movie.
Same here.
And they failed to get down there.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was
better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Much better than I was giving it any hope to be. And maybe that's just my altered expectations. I don't know.
I don't think so. I was pretty excited about the movie. It was pretty low. It was still pretty low. I'm not gonna lie. The last X-Men were not good. So I had hoped because of the inclusion of the first class cast that it was going to be much better. So I did have higher expectations than the last X-Men movies, but that's not really saying a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like the way they did some of the New Mutants and their powers. I don't really know why they had Warpath in there, but
or what he actually did.
Yeah, well, he has face paint and has sweet knife skills.
He clearly looks Native American and can jump through Blake's holes.
Yes.
He heard stuff.
He did hear stuff
from like 10 miles away.
No, the thing about Warpath that was weird was that they felt the need to include him. They still made him racist, and he didn't actually do anything he did in the comic books, which was weird.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I don't understand the, need to include random X-Men from random generations of the X-Men.
It's true.
Like, if you want to put Warpath in this movie and, put a Native American in this movie, all for it, 100%. Go ahead and do it. Put him in first class where he fucking belongs.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is Warpath is one of the... He's one of the exception to the rule when it comes to comic book characters. That dude dies and stays dead.
Yeah, what he did, he stays deed.
Indeed. Although Blink was cool. I really enjoyed the way they did Blink's powers.
Yeah. But Blink was another one, from Generation Next.
True, but she didn't take away from the movie.
Different generation of X-Men. No, well, neither did Warpath, really, but he didn't,
Yeah.
He didn't take away from it at all.
Yeah, Warpath didn't take away from it at all. Blink, if anything else, added probably the meat and potatoes to the movie. I hate to say that, but I watched the movie for the action because the subplots and the plot itself are not that great, and a lot of times the acting's a little off. But the action was fantastic because of her.
Yeah, well,
because they finally had that. They finally had that teamwork that the X-Men comic books were all about.
Yeah.
They finally other people mutant powers working off each other, but all the teamwork was focused and centered around Blink, basically.
She was the linchpin.
Linchpin, yeah.
Right. Nobody else really coincided teamwork fashion, Pyro heating them and Iceman freezing them to shatter them or something like that. But none of that ever happened.
Yeah, but I think
none of that sort of other teamwork happened except for around Blink.
Right.
Her and Colossus worked out pretty cool. That was pretty sweet. How he did a dive and then.
Well, here's the weird thing. Here's also the weird thing. We say Pyro. Pyro wasn't in the movie.
That's supposed to be Sunspot.
That's Sunspot. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I said Pyro, but I meant Sunspot.
Well, I wasn't trying to correct a
I'm
mistake.
sorry, Sunspot
Stupid.
fans. Sorry.
Listen,
Yes, we apologize.
Listen, dummy. I wasn't trying to correct your stupid mistake, dummy. But no, it was.
Both of you Sunspot fans, I'm sorry. apologize.
both three of you. Oh man.
What did you guys think of Quicksilver and his little scene?
Quicksilver was probably the star of this movie.
Yeah, I loved the way they did Quicksilver in this movie. I don't know why. I just thought he was like really fun and like everything he did. I laughed the whole time.
Oh, his scene was fantastic. No, don't get me wrong. He was way faster in the movie than he actually is in the comic book. But the scene was so good that I was willing to let it pass.
Yeah.
I love the music they played while they were doing it too. It was really good.
It was so good.
Oh.
And the Avengers is really going to have to step up their Quicksilver, in my opinion. To be one of this Quicksilver.
Yeah, they called him out.
Yeah. Because I honestly thought that the X-Men Quicksilver was going to be pretty lame, but he was pretty cool.
I wondered how they were going to do Quicksilver in this when they first introduced him, because he's generally known as Magneto's son.
Yeah.
And then they dropped that line.
Yeah, they did drop that. Yeah.
Yep.
They dropped that line. I was like, that was good. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell they tried to step their game up with this superhero film a little bit with some of the characters.
So let's go through here. In the future, we had Bishop. Who was okay. I didn't dislike or like their Bishop either way. I was neutral about their Bishop. For the most part.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, he added to what he was in, but I don't know.
They had Kitty Pryde, a.k.a. Shadowcat, who was played by Ellen Page, who I generally like, but not crazy about her Shadowcat.
Yeah.
I like her as Shadowcat. I'm not crazy about it because I don't think they gave her much to work with.
Right. Like, she and Bishop just ran away and ran through some walls occasionally. Like, they never showed her, like, actually fighting something, which would have been cool.
Right. Like, she wasn't bad.
Because her ability to, like, make something intangible, then put it in the middle of something else, and then make it tangible again, is pretty vicious in reality.
Well, I think it's what they should have done to get... But if they had really included her in the fight, then...
And they couldn't have used her made-up power to travel backwards through time to project people's souls backward in time to...
Guys, Wolverine's the only one who can go through that, okay?
Right.
Listen,
clearly Wolverine has a long track record in the X movies of healing his own self from mental pain. Clearly, that's what Wolverine has always done. All of them. In every one of the X movies. This is
okay. For some reference here, basically, Wolverine has chosen to go back in time instead of Professor Xavier because Kitty Pryde explains that the process is takes a lot of extreme mental.
Well, it's taxing. It's taxing, and it hurts you, and Wolverine can heal through that. But it's mentally taxing.
Right. It's all they explain it as mental anguish, and so Wolverine's not really great at that.
Yeah.
Wolverine
Professor
is all
Xavier
the time forgetting who the fuck
could have survived
he is.
that.
I have something that I thought about. There's something that I have to complain about.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, this just occurred to me earlier today that this movie is, for all intents and purposes, supposed to connect to the others, correct?
It's a complete retcon of every other X-Men movie.
Retcon is a good,
But they throw in the scenes of all the other X-Men movies. So, presumably, the first 3 X-Men basically run into this one.
Yes.
And at the end...
Not X3.
Spoilers if you don't want to know the end, which you shouldn't care at this point.
Except for X3?
Okay, no. At the beginning,
absolutely.
yes.
They show the X3 scenes in there.
Yes, at the beginning it does. Yeah.
All I'm saying is at the end of X3, Professor Xavier jumps into the body of another man.
Right.
Yet
according to lore from the website that someone heard from the director, that's Professor X's twin brother.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
No. I'll tell you why.
Yes.
No, let me finish
No,
this.
that's what they said.
No, let me finish this thought.
Mm.
That is BS. Because in X3, the guy who's been comatose has been waited on many times by what's her face, whose name I forget.
Moira McTaggart.
Moira McTaggart. And never once did she go, "Hey, Professor Xavier, your twin brother, or this guy that looks a lot like you, is laying comatose in my. Do you know him?" That never comes up. She's known about this guy forever, and it never ever comes up. He's talked about like he's a complete stranger. Moira McTaggart knows about this guy. As
You want to know why that is?
why?
Because Moira McTaggart wants her some Charles Xavier, and she can't have the real thing. So she's been keeping his brain-dead twin brother around
Wow.
instead.
They're just making shit up now, aren't they?
No, I just made that shit up, actually.
Okay. Okay.
I just made that shit up. actually.
Okay.
That was me. Yeah, bro, I don't... That's according to the story, man. That's what Singer said, is the way things worked in his world.
No, the way things worked in his world is we made 3 shitty movies. Somehow they made money. X-Men First Class was actually good. I kind of want to do an actual good movie. So what we'll do is we'll mix them together and then just make bullshit reasons so they connect correctly.
Singer did not do 3, if it makes you feel better. So he was like, we're retconning all that bullshit out.
Oh, did it? Oh, is that
Did not fucking happen.
good?
Jeez, man, I remember going to the theater to see X3 with
Oh, me too.
low expectations.
And every time I get on the internet and someone says Kelsey Grammer makes a great beast, I wish they would get shot. I wish there was like an internet, like something I could do on the internet to make that guy suffer. Kelsey Grammer is a shitty beast.
I agree. Beast is way cooler than that.
That's all right. Kelsey Grammer will be an Expendables. He'll be awesome in that.
It can't be. What? Why is Kelsey Grammer an Expendable 3?
I don't know.
That's something for another time. It really is. But I sometimes have to explain to me why the fuck Kelsey Grammer is in Expendables. Because I don't get it.
We haven't really talked about the highlight of X-Men, though. The highlight...
We talked about Blink?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. The highlight of X... No, listen. You're wrong. That's not the highlight.
Oh, what was the highlight?
The highlight was the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer before it.
I was gonna say we hit Blink and Quicksilver already. We already hit the highlights, dude. What are you talking about?
I told you that wasn't the highlight.
The Guardians of the Galaxy trailer was really good.
Yeah.
Just makes me more excited to see that.
Oh, I can't wait to see it, man. That's going to be so good.
I'm not going to go into details, mainly because I don't remember them all. I haven't watched the trailer enough to burn it into my retinas. But everybody should go watch it because it was fantastic. That much I do remember. It was.
We should throw up a link on our sweet Facebook page.
You know what else is fantastic about the movie we just saw that we're talking about now?
What?
They're going to tackle the apocalypse story.
I'm not sure why that's fantastic.
Listen,
Yeah, it's not. It's not at all.
It was fine up until I saw, what they actually did Apocalypse.
Right.
Bro, it's early baby Apocalypse. Will you calm the fuck down?
Whatever. Apocalypse never looked like Screech ever.
You don't
Dude,
know that.
this is 2014. Apocalypse is a hipster now.
Oh, God.
Right.
Oh,
Gonna
my.
sack
You
some
saw he was
shoes,
wearing his
is what he's
hoodie
gonna do.
in the desert. Clearly,
Right.
it's not hot.
You just verbally kicked me in the balls.
They're gonna retcon him to be a hipster.
Oh, he's gonna have long hair and he's gonna be like,
Well, honestly, if any ex-villain was a hipster, it'd be Apocalypse.
Maybe Mr. Sinister?
Yeah, well, Sinister's supposed to be involved in it too.
Oh, is he?
That's my understanding, is that he'll be involved. Now, in order to do Age of Apocalypse, though, didn't they really kind of have to bring back Jean Grey and Cyclops?
Yes, they did, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They totally did.
And Famke Janssen was looking nice in this movie, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dude, yeah. Like, yeah. Hey, Rogue? Penguin getting her own little title?
She got her name up big in the credits, and she was in there for literally 4 seconds.
Yeah.
But she didn't say a single word.
What kills me is that, like, of all the X movies that they've done now, 4 of them, other than, not including this one, so we'll say 3, the coolest X-Men that they had, and at least showed his powers correctly, was they didn't even put in this one, and that was Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Who, by
Yeah,
the way, is
granted.
tied very closely to Mystique, so there's plenty of reason to put him in there, and they just didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought
Gambit.
they totally
see Gambit.
bitched on Colossus.
Dude, they totally did. He was like, I don't know, he was tiny. He was small.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
Comic book
He
Colossus.
needed to be way more cool.
Well, he just needed to do more cool stuff. All he did was punch shit ineffectively.
Right.
the Colossus from the Wolverine origin movie was better than that.
And stand around and flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Wolverine Origins also never happened according to Bryan Singer.
Oh, okay.
That's been retconned out as well by this
Wait,
movie.
all the X-Men, all the Wolverine movies? Because that'd be
Hopefully. Hopefully we
Wolverine-
can just forget they ever happened.
The Wolverine and Wolverine Origins have been retconned out, yes.
Oh, I love this, man.
Yeah, I'm starting to, yeah.
Because like
Right,
one was iffy. I liked two quite a bit more.
No.
Dude,
I didn't think 1 and 2 were as horrible as 3. Like,
3 was just god awful.
3 made, just like Spider-Man in 1 and 2, X-Men 3 and Spider-Man 3 both made the first 2 look so much better.
Right.
Like, the retrospective was like, wow, this movie's actually pretty good in comparison to what X-Men 3 was.
I just thought Nightcrawler was super BA, is all.
Dude, Nightcrawler's always been awesome. When I played the Sega game, X-Men on the Sega, I always played Nightcrawler. He was best
He was a
character.
badass in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teleporting all over the place.
Through walls.
He was better than Wolverine, even. And Wolverine's always cheat mode in every video game.
Ripper Mirage.
Well, you know,
Mirage.
I
I
really
played some of that over the weekend. I should know.
Oh, did you
Nice.
really? Where at?
At the Newark, the theater in Newark, where it's still 1995 in the arcade.
No
Oh,
kidding.
Yeah, me and Ira went and played some of that. Berserker Mirage.
Marvel, was it X-Men versus Street Fighter, or was it Marvel Super?
Oh, like Marvel superheroes.
Oh, damn, like, wow.
Yes, super old.
Yeah.
1995 old, bro.
Love that game, though.
It's a classic. The arcade box they have not in the best of condition. Some of the buttons do not work.
Aw.
Surprise face.
They
Right?
should go over to 16-bit arcade and take some of their games away from them.
We should just go to 16-bit arcade. We need to go sometime. Or 8-bit arcade, whatever it is.
I think, is it 8-bit? I don't know. All I know is it's a whole lot to do about something that's not that impressive.
Oh, yeah?
Just saying, yeah, it's very confined. There's no places when you're playing the games to put your beers. So
That's
you have to rely on like your buddy to be like, yeah, bro, I'll hold your beer for you. It's cool. And yeah, it's like
Dude,
tight quarters.
I don't understand. Like, the only way to do any kind of modern day arcade is to mix it with alcohol. And the only way to do games with alcohol is to put cup holders.
Right, to have a cup
Yeah.
holder or something. Like,
Well,
you
they don't
pick
want to
things that are-
deface. A lot of the games they have are like the original.
Get a
arcade
motherfucking
boxes.
table.
I know they have stools, but everybody takes the stools, and people like to stand in the middle of the aisles and just talk and hang out. And then you gotta like, you know, I mean, maybe if we go on the date, it's not that
Fuck it,
busy.
we're not
It would be
going.
fun.
During the
but-
week?
It's full of hipsters, bro. They're there all night. We have to go kind of early.
Oh, man. But hipsters,
I hate hipsters.
most
so
of these
bad.
games came out before those fuckers were born.
Yes,
it's
but hipsters
retro.
love to be retro.
Yeah.
They love that shit.
Damn it.
That's why they drive fixies, man.
Then when I left that place, I was tempted to shave my beard, and I almost never wore my flannel shirt again. I was just like, you know what?
What?
Yeah.
Dude, you would have to go naked.
I know.
If you did not wear a flannel, you would have to go naked because I don't believe you owned other shirts.
Listen. I spent many hours in my youth being an absolute outcast playing these games, and it only makes me angry that now it's cool.
Yeah.
And in the worst way possible, mind you.
Oh, They do have the old Tron game though, the joystick.
Nice.
God, that game is hard.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
Holy
it is.
crap!
Dude,
Well, video games
Go.
used to be hard.
Yeah. Go play any games of the past. They're difficult.
Yeah.
They punish you.
It used to be a
They
skill.
have Time Crisis there too, which I enjoy. That's always fun. Like the original Time Crisis with the terrible graphics.
Yes. Well, all the Time Crisis had terrible graphics, dude. I mean, to be honest. None of them came out like at any time when the graphics might have been good.
You're playing Time Crisis going, is this Minecraft? I don't understand.
Oh.
What's going on here? But
So what are we what are we talking
We
about?
were on X-Men. And
We were on
X-Men. We were talking about X-Men, yes.
I think we've covered everything there is to cover about X-Men.
Yeah.
Wait, do we finish making fun of the rest of the mutants? Let's see. They had Bishop. We talked about Bishop. We talked about Kitty Pryde. We talked about Blink.
What'd you guys think of the Sentinels?
Iceman was kind of lame.
What'd you guys think of the Sentinels?
Not a fan of the the Blade 3 face opening design that they decided to copy. I don't get it.
I don't.
And why does everyone wait for 5 minutes for them to open their face and shoot them instead of getting out of the way or moving?
I can't answer that question. I can say that I'm kind of glad they didn't go with the original design, but I would have preferred something.
I would have preferred the original design.
I don't know.
Giant
no,
person
come on. I know.
Faces that don't move. Yes, give me that.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure I'm glad they didn't go with the original design myself, but at the same time, I would prefer something that didn't look like the Destroyer from 4.
What about the baseball diamond that made the gate around the White House? How'd you guys feel about that?
Well, Magneto's pretty BA, so
yeah.
And I like Fassbender as Magneto.
Dude, yes.
So I'm gonna give him a pass on nearly everything he does.
Well,
but
I give a pass.
I didn't have a problem with the baseball, the baseball diamond area, the pulling the walls off the baseball diamond and dropping it around the White House. I'm fine with that. Reprogramming the Sentinels with steel beams.
Yes. What?
Less okay with that. Less okay with that. I mean, if you make an entire system that is made to function without metal, I don't know. I don't see how adding some metal suddenly makes him. Because he didn't if he had done that and controlled them like puppets.
Right. That'd been one thing. But that is not what he did.
That is not.
He totally hacked the circuit boards in the Matrix
with steel beams,
railroad ties.
Right. Now I thought he was going to destroy the Sentinels, which would have been cooler if he just
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He tried to raise up his Sentinels and they're literally crucified to the rail cars they were in. That would have been awesome, I think. But nope, he reprogrammed them with railroad ties, and I'm like, ah.
What'd you guys think of Peter Dinklage in this movie?
Okay, I actually really liked Peter Dinklage's character, and I liked two things about it. One, they never made any mention of him being a midget.
It's true.
He was just Oliver Trask. They're never and being a midget was never his motivation for what he did. So
actually,
they basically removed him being a midget from the equation, which I really liked.
Little person.
Sorry, a little person from the equation.
Personally, I also really, really liked his character for the same reason, but also because they didn't focus on him being a little person.
Yeah.
His character was really, I thought, interesting, especially the whole scene where they talk about one of his, I think it was one of his guards. Actually, it was Stryker.
Yeah.
Who asks, you must really hate mutants, and he's like, on the contrary, I don't. And it made him a little bit more interesting, a bad guy, that whole speech, because
he was a true scientist. Yeah.
It seemed contradictory, but at the same time, he was really, really obsessed with the progression of man and being able to replicate that, and the Sentinels being a method of just being able to capture and experiment as he, felt the need to.
Right to do.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I want to touch on with this movie, there was a few parts where I considered time lag. For instance, like what we got on the second 300 movie, how one dude's in Athens and the next day he's over here. So I'm not sure where Professor Xavier's house or his hangout is.
New York.
Yeah. So okay, I guess you can get from New York to Washington D.C. Well, depends on what part of New York, I guess.
Too, yeah.
Okay. It just seemed a few times. It just seemed like they're over here doing all these things, and the next day walking through the house. I'm just like, what? Really? That was pretty quick.
Get back there.
Yeah, when they were in France and then they were back, and it's like, wow. Okay, that was. But it'd be interesting to see if they decide to go further with any of that. What they're going to do with Mystique, though, since they've stopped the Sentinel setup.
Well, this movie was good enough to warrant me looking forward to the next one. Despite the fact that it's Apocalypse. I know, despite the fact that it's Emo Apocalypse. Emocalypse.
I'm still waiting for Omega Red. I don't care how they do
You're
it.
never gonna see Omega Red.
They should put Omega Red in there.
No, don't ask for that. They will just
As in love as they are with Wolverine, you will still never see Omega Red.
they will just screw it up so like Omega Red is a very specific, you know, unless they cast Mickey Rourke to be Omega Red, it's gonna be terrible.
He once was Whiplash, now he's Omega Red.
You know, I might watch Mickey Rourke as Omega Red.
Yeah, it's a perfect cast. Like both in looks.
It's the only cast.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll get like an unknown to play him.
They'll probably get Khal Drogo to play him.
Khal Drogo, not Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo.
All right, guys.
They'll just animate him.
Right.
As
They'll just be right. They'll just be all CGI. Well, there's like tentacles and stuff. They're gonna CGI the shit out of them anyway.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We'll get like those awful Blade 3 fight scenes.
Shush your mouth.
It'll be great. They'll just CGI Wolverine also. Let's hope this never happens.
You know, they did do a pretty decent job in this movie of making Wolverine kind of useless because he didn't have his adamantium. So, I mean, he was there, but he didn't really ever do anything. Everybody else kind of did stuff.
Right. I did like it seemed awfully Chekhov's gun that like in the one important scene where they needed Wolverine to do something maybe, like when Eric was going crazy and trying to shoot Mystique.
Yeah.
He was all like, "Oh, sorry guys, I'm having time heart attack or whatever he was having.
He was having a bad acid
I'm
trip.
having a time stroke and I can't help out right now."
He was doing mental healing.
Right.
Sorry, bro, I'm meditating.
Well, that's what killed me. It's like, oh, don't worry, my mind can bounce back. What, Stryker? Shit! Ah!
Right, exactly.
I just saw a man that caused me a lot of pain. Really, Wolverine? A lot of stuff has caused you pain.
Right. Oh, so annoying.
Lady Deathstrike completely redesigning your insides. That didn't hurt, but whatever.
Well, she wasn't there, dude, so it's okay.
Well, I know. He didn't see her. It's just.
It's a known
of course, they did kind of touch on her power, though. They had one of the Sentinels had the long claws. Like
I saw that.
I think that was supposed to be Wolverine, but yeah, whatever.
Well, I just thought maybe it wasn't Wolverine because the claws were like all the fingers.
Because you need a super hyper-advanced machine to know the long, sharp, pointy things are dangerous.
Yes. We didn't learn that enough in T2. We didn't learn that enough in T2. We had to have it told to us again.
Well, I think that's about it, isn't it?
There's not really a whole lot. We got, what, E3 coming up?
Coming up?
We can touch on some of that once it's over. I'm not even going to try to like live tweet or live do that stuff because it'd be crazy.
Well, we got that. We got, hopefully next week we'll have some nice results in our League of League.
Oh, yes, League of League. We drafted teams today.
We did. I had no idea what I was doing.
I got a solid team, I think. I'm planning on winning League of League.
I just took all the Koreans. I figured, they've been dominating most esports, so I got a 50-50 chance to come out here.
You know why you're going to lose?
Why's that?
You're going to lose because there are no Korean teams in this draft.
Oh crap. Looks like up the creek there.
Bro, and also, pretty sure League is dominated by American teams for the most part.
Is it really?
Well, no, actually. The last couple LCS World Cup was taken by, I think one was a Korean team. Najin. There's nothing. Not in this draft. There's none. Shut your mouth. and then the year before it was Najin Black Sword or Najin something, or SK Gaming. I'm sorry, SK Gaming. And then the team last year was SK Gaming from China. The team before that was a Najin team that was Korean that won. So
Fnatic won recently.
Fnatic won a game recently. They might have won the European LCS.
Well, I drafted a lot of those guys.
Cool.
On my team.
He's like, cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That was super awesome, dude.
Say stuff. It was
Way
awesome.
to go.
Correct. More on that next week when we get into a battle of pride over who won.
It's gonna
Mostly those two. It's gonna be me. Whatever. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna dominate everything.
We,
never
I'm
know.
gonna invite Kayleen to come on
I think
and
we
talk
should.
about League of League with us.
I think I should. Yeah, Kayleen is our fourth, and I think she should definitely come on and tell us how she doesn't know anything about this game and what the hell are you guys talking about?
Pretty much.
Like seriously, you guys are a bunch of fucking nerds. Stop it.
She's right on board with me and Ryan because
Yeah.
we also have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
No idea what's going on.
I'm gonna be the only one who's even remotely upset about losing.
Bro, right. But I'm going to talk statistics and analysis like no one else would believe.
I'll do some homework. I don't want to be left out in the cold. So
I'll be looking at all numbers.
I may
Oh,
even
yeah.
check some games because some of those games are fun to watch. Actually, I mean, I've watched a couple like over with you, Connor, and I mean, I liked what I saw.
Well, hey, you know
Was
what?
that in your post-coitus snuggling time?
Well, you know, we gotta look. If I
During.
just walk away when I'm done, then he sends me all these messages talking about I don't think we're going
I know.
anywhere.
He's the worst, right? So needy.
During coitus.
So needy.
Yeah.
Ryan
I
always
can
insists on being able to face the screen. So,
He's like, stay still, you're spilling my beer.
Oh. All right. Well, let's go ahead and call it here. We've been going for a while. Not a whole lot left. So yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for coming out, or at least listening later. All three of you.
good
There's three of them.
evening.
Maybe